Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are talking about The Drama. This is A24's new movie starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. If you're new around here and you don't know, I am on a quest to watch every single 2026 movie that I possibly can, and The Drama is a new release in line. It just came out this Friday for Easter weekend, and I just checked it out, just got home from the theater, and I'm excited to talk about it. If you want to see the full list of all of the movies ranked, you can check it out in the description, and you can also check out my video I uploaded just yesterday talking about all of the movies I watched in the first quarter of 2026. And with all that being said, I hope you all enjoy, and let's get right into the video. So, The Drama is a very good A24 movie. I think out of all of A24's stuff so far this year, it is the best release that we've gotten, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, but I don't have a good way to explain a lot of these thoughts, actually, because it's a very different movie than I thought it would be, and it's also just a very different movie than I really expected in general from A24 at this time. The Drama is a very kind of interesting look into like true love, but kind of in a weird, distorted lens way where it's very, very dark. It's a very dark comedy, and it's just so different than anything else that I've watched. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad either. This is a good different. It's a different that feels so unique. And I really enjoyed it. It's not like any other kind of dark movie of its caliber. There's probably something out there I'm forgetting about that's similar, but from what I've seen, feels very, in of itself of its own thing, and I really enjoyed that. Let's start off with the positives, because there are a lot of positives for me to say. Firstly, Robert Pattinson and Zendaya are practically incredible in this film. There's not a dull moment anytime that they're on the screen, and you're spending 90, maybe 99% of the time with at least one of them on the screen. And their moments together are impactful and depthful, and the way that they interact and the chemistry that they have is great. Sorry, Tom Holland, I'm so sorry. But yeah, their chemistry is awesome. They work really well together, and it's just a really great time watching them on screen. You've also got the other side characters, and all of them are perfectly hateable, but also kind of right in the same way. And it's just the way that they carry themselves that is so hateable, but yet you can't disagree with them in certain ways. And there's so much nuance that goes on with the way that they behave and the way the main characters behave, and all of it just kind of builds up in crescendos and builds all of this tension that it develops across the entire movie, and it's just so well put together is kind of the best way I can put it, where you have the main couple and all of the side characters that are kind of doubling in on themselves, and then finally, as all of the arcs and all of the directions are kind of coming to fruition, you have so much depth and just nuance with all of the different elements of the film. And by the ending, you're left with definitely a lot of questions, because I was left with a few things, but there's just so much good substance going on with the entire runtime of the film. And this isn't even just substance that's dramatic or comedic. It's such a good blend of everything. It's so darkly comedic and so not on the nose and so unique to itself. There's so much depth, and it's so much fun. It's just a fun movie to watch, and in a bad way too. It's a fun movie to watch in a bad way, where it's doing something that no movie has dared to do. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that is at least a mainstream movie that's willing to go to the dark levels this movie goes to, and it does it in such a comedic and but sometimes very genuine way that it's able to convey just different emotions, and I like that. It's great. I'm not going to go into detail as to actually what is going on with the plot, because I went into it with not really that much knowledge, and when you get the big reveal of what the whole movie's actually about, it hits a lot harder. So I'm not going to give any more detail on what this movie's actually about, other than it's just some drama that goes on. And I like how they use visuals here in this film to tell the story. There's a lot of flashback sequences, and there's a lot of like cuts that make the movie feel like it's not necessarily linear, but it's not so much as like a Tarantino film or something where it's like literally non-linear. It's like different instances are non-linear, and then you kind of just fill in the blanks. And it feels very fluid, and it never feels like you're missing any of the character development or any of the nuance of the film, even though you're moving in different directions. And all that's really great. And like I said, the acting is fantastic. The directing is really fun. There's just a lot of good here. Um, I don't really have anything mixed on this movie. I mean, I guess I would put just the material of the movie is very dark, very drab. There's going to be a large majority of people who do not condone the movie and they think that it's bad. They think that it's not a good message. And I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can see different perspectives. I'm not I don't disagree if you have that thought, but me personally, I didn't think this movie was all that offensive. I thought that it was very well put, very tasteful, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. So even though it's a little mixed, that it could be maybe a bit distasteful to someone else, I thought it was great. Looking at the negatives, though, there's really not much to say here except maybe the ending note. I don't dislike the ending. I think the ending is very good, but the ending note does leave a little bit to be desired in the sense that it's like you don't really know if it's like a good ending or a bad ending or like what's going to happen after the ending. It just kind of ends on a note. And there's not necessarily enough like nuance to the ending like there is to the rest of the substance in the movie. So you kind of get left with like a feeling of like, huh, that's how we're gonna end it. Like, and that held it back about a star for me. But other than that, this is a very solid movie. It's a very interesting look into what you do for love and like the choosing your friends and your family and like making mistakes and being able to accept people and so many different angles you can look at this movie in different artistic lenses. And I like being overly critical a lot. I try and be pretty critical of stuff just so I can get my point across. And this movie is so insanely hard to be critical about because it's so unique and so driven to a specific message. And as someone who's never had any real experience with the substance of this movie, at least not in the sense of one of the characters in it, um, it it feels like it's not my place to maybe speak on some of the ideas here, and that's fine. It's a tough movie to talk about. It's a very dark movie with a lot of themes that are very hard to share, hard to speak of, and like I mentioned, the acting sells all of those things very well. But the movie's also so well put and well placed and well said that it's able to make you laugh, and that's really great. I feel like I'm retreading a lot of the things that I want to say about this movie because, well, it's not really a movie that you talk about. It's a movie you experience, and that's kind of all that there's really to say about it. I love I love getting to review these movies, but you get a movie like this every once in a while where it's like, what do I really say about it? Like, it's not a Silent Hill situation where there's things that I can critique for 30 minutes, and it's not a Project Hail Mary situation where it's like the greatest movie or one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Like, it's incredible. This is just one of those movies that's like really good and worth every second of your time, but I don't really know how to say anything negative or overly positive, life changing about it. It's just a good movie and one that you should add to your list because it's very eye opening, it's very interesting, it's very introspective, and it's just very well put. And yeah, that's gonna do it. That's all I have to say about the drama. I know I've been talking really quickly through this. I'm kind of still got a little bit of adrenaline from just enjoying this movie, especially considering we've been having a pretty bad year with movies. This is a nice little highlight in this year. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about the drama. I hope you all enjoyed. I know that was very quick, very long winded. I gave this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's a lot of fun, and you should go check it out. So I will see you on the next one, and peace out.